Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Tony Dontchaknow, and welcome back to Tips from Tony. Today, we're going to talk about fashion. We're talking about fashion for men, right? The best kind, okay? So forget about London, you forget about Paris, you forget about Milan. The best fashion tips are right here in Brooklyn, right here from Tony. You get it right here, okay? Like this shirt. You like this shirt? Looks like a bomb went off in a Pizza Hut. But let me tell you, the chicks, they dig it. And that's all that matters. Okay? So you don't need no Gucci, you don't need no Versace, you don't need no Armani. You just take your tips from Tony. Okay? And you're going to stand out in the crowd and the girls will be flinging themselves at you. Okay? So here we go. Tip number 1, polyester. That's what it is, baby. The tighter the better, too. And like I always say, lay on the rayon. But just be careful when you're ironing with that stuff, it melts, you know what I mean? Okay, so let me ask you guys. How many girls did you pick up in the disco wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt? None. Zippo. You got shut out. So you take some tips from Tony. You get the right threads, and you'll be scoring faster than Michael Jordan playing the Nets. Okay? Here we go. Tip number 2. The taller, the better. Okay? Especially for guys like me and Rocky. So you might say, hey, Tony, how am I going to elevate myself? Well, you came to the right guy. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you how. Check out these platform shoes. Whew, they're beauties, ain't they? I got one for every occasion. So nobody going to be looking down on Tony. Except for maybe Michael Jordan. Okay? Now, tip number 3. We're going to talk about hair. Okay? You know? And my saying is, the chicks like it slick. You know? It's like a love potion. They just can't resist. Okay? So you get some of that pomade and you slick it back. And you can go out on the dance floor. You can dance for hours. Not a hair's out of place. The girls will be falling for you. But you might say, hey, Tony, what about if I don't have any hair? Well, you know what? You came to the right guy. Because I got a solution for everything. Hats, okay? So you get yourself a good hat. Now, that's tip number 4. We're going to talk about hats. So you get yourself a classy hat, okay? And the chicks, they just love it. So like this hat here, this is a nice fedora, right? This hat commands respect like it should. Now, let me tell you something. Never, ever wear a baseball hat when you're going to meet a girl, unless you're at Yankee Stadium. And if I ever catch you wearing a baseball hat backwards, you are cruising for a bruising. Now, let's just talk a little bit about hat etiquette, okay? You got to act classy with your hat, right? First of all, you go into someone's home, you take off your hat. When you go to have dinner at the dinner table, you take off your hat. When you greet a lady on the street or anywhere, you tip your hat. Okay? Now, if a lady gives you a compliment or says like, oh, Tony, you look handsome today, like they always do, you give them a big tip of the hat, like that, you see? So that's the style, you know, that's the way to do it, okay? Now I'm going to talk a little bit about leisure suits. Leisure suits are the greatest invention in men's fashion since the jockstrap. They're sturdy and they're stylish and blood just cleans right off them. And the chicks, they just can't resist, right? Ever since John Travolta and Saturday Night Fever, the girls have been going flippo over leisure suits. Let me tell you something, okay? So you get yourself a couple good leisure suits. Just make sure they're matching with your platform shoes, okay? You got it? All right, good. Okay, so here we are. You got yourself a closet full of polyester shirts, tight-fitting pants, and you got yourself your platform shoes, right? Get yourself a nice cool hat, you know, for some style. And before you go out, maybe throw on a little bit of gold there, you know. And how about some rings? A couple rings, and the girls won't be able to resist. And last, spray on a little cologne. Not that cheap crap they sell down on Canal Street. You put on the real deal, because not only are you going to look good, you're going to smell good. All right? So before you know it, you'll be tipping your hat when the girls are complimenting you and saying, "Hey, Tony, you're such a stud." I'm going to see you down at the disco, and we are going to rip up the dance floor, okay? So that's about it for today for Tips from Tony. I'll catch you next time.